What's up, guys? This is post-editing Andrew. First time I can do this. Video that you're watching right now, I have had a problem with my editing program, and this is the fourth time I've edited this video, and I have had problems with adding videos or pictures to my my overlay to put a video or a picture on this video. I've edited I have three drafts, and every time there seems to be a problem. If it's either a bug in a video or like just a freezing, and when it's just a video recording on me and a freeze, and then you still hear the audio but it freezes. So this is the fifth time I've edited this video, and you'll see I'll have Baseball Savant pages and videos playing. I won't, so I'm just letting this guys know, so it's not a little weird that I'm putting videos and Baseball Savant pages up. So I just wanted to throw this in the front of the video. I'm having some problems. Hopefully I can get a new software pretty soon. Just a little check up here. This is part 3 of the trade chip, or trade targets video. I will have an all-star roster and snubs video out in the next, probably tomorrow. I will hopefully try to get that out for you. I'm sorry for the late uploads. I've edited this video 4 times. I've worked on it I've edited it and did all the things, and it just either one bug or another bug seems to happen every time. So sorry for the inconvenience. I'm hoping to get a new software where it works so I can put over video overlays, pictures, Baseball Savant pages. I'm trying to improve. I'm a low-budget YouTuber, so, it's going to happen. But sorry for the inconvenience. I'll let you guys get into the video, but just wanted to let you guys know before you got into the video that I'm sorry. Hopefully we can get this editing software reserved pretty quick, but thank you guys. Please enjoy the video. Peace.
What is going on, guys? Andrew Acevedo here, back with another video, and we are back with part 3 of Mets trade targets, guys who the Mets should be looking at the trade deadline. We are now on July 2nd, and there was a big rumor. I will put that video out tomorrow about some potential news and rumors from Andy Martino. How reliable are they? We'll get to that. We'll get that in tomorrow's video. But we're back here with part 3 of 7 more. Guys, the Mets need to at least call and decide, and obviously the Mets kind of slumping, losing 2 out of 3 to Atlanta, getting rained out today at Yankee Stadium, having a doubleheader again on Sunday. So it's going to be, the Mets continue to dig themselves into a hole, now only having a 2-game lead in the division. The Nationals are right behind you. It's going to be a tough chase, but these are 7 guys. The Mets should at least call some teams, and, they maybe need some pitching, and they need some more offense. Pretty much everybody in the game is looking for offense and pitching, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get into 7 more guys the Mets need to at least call for the trade deadline. Let's start it off with a smaller name, not a name that everybody's talking about. Let's talk about Arizona Diamondbacks starter/reliever Merrill Kelly, has 32-year-old right-hander from the Diamondbacks, having a pretty solid year for the kind of reliever/starter, pitching for the worst team in baseball. So his record 4-7 with a 4.73 ERA, 83 strikeouts, and 91 in the third innings, ERA plus at 86 in 16 games started. For Merrill Kelly, this is a guy you can just use as a depth piece and should not cost anything. Going back to 2020 season, again, 5 starts, 3-2 with a 2.59, 29 strikeouts, and 31 in the third innings, and an ERA plus of 179. Fastball, curveball, changeup, cutter, all in the low 90s. On the curveball at 81. He's throwing his fastball the majority of the time at 54%. He's got some bad Baseball Savant numbers. Maybe I'll throw them up here. We'll maybe have some videos and pictures and Savant pages will all be up. Hopefully, if my editing skills are getting better as I'm getting used to making these videos. So hopefully I will throw up his Savant page, and I'll throw up a couple of strikeouts or something. But again, his velo, his heart, his exit velo, his WOBA, and his hard hit rate all below 40. He's got a bad Savant. Again, I'll show it here. It's not a flashy guy. It's not a guy who you can put at the top of your rotation, but the Mets really don't need that. The Mets need a guy. They need some extra depth because of the injuries. Hopefully we can get Carlos Carrasco back sometime this month, and then Noah Syndergaard hopefully in September. But the Mets now with David Peterson going on the IL, Marcus Stroman thankfully is okay. He'll pitch tomorrow, or I believe in game 1 of the doubleheader. So he's going to be pitching this weekend. Taijuan Walker's been amazing. Tyler McGill has had a 2 good starts to start his big league career. Thomas Sapucki maybe not. So the Mets need to just add an extra guy. He ain't going to cost much, and he's a guy, he has had some good seasons. So again, this is a cheap guy. The Mets could just call the Diamondbacks, say, hey, you want him for some cash? You want him for a player to be named later? You guys suck. You're selling off. And he's not a free agent until 2025, so he has a lot of term. So could the Diamondbacks just flip him? Who knows? It's not a flashy name. Of course not. Again, it's Merrill Kelly. It's just a guy who you could add as maybe an extra long man in the bullpen. So maybe you don't, you're seeing Sean Reed Foley and you're seeing him all the time. Maybe add him as that extra long man or also a fit starter for the Mets. So again, it's a cheap guy. It's not the flashy name, but again, he could be a very useful piece in a playoff run. Going on, this video is going to be a very pitcher-heavy video because obviously we look at the Mets' injuries, and the Mets need some extra pitching. There's only one bat, and the one bat is in the main title on thumbnail. It's just kind of a pipe dream, but again, you had to throw a lot of pitching. I've had a lot of offensive guys in my past two videos, so I thought this would be more of a pitching video with obviously the main event in the thumbnail. But let's go back to another reliever who the Mets, bullpen's been pretty solid, but also could always use in some more improvement. And let's talk about Pirates. One of their bright spots, Pirates reliever Richard Rodriguez, a 27-year-old, will be a free agent in 2024, having a tremendous year. As of now, a 3-1 record with a 1.78 ERA and 27 strikeouts in 31 and a third inning, ERA plus of 2.27. He's made 29 appearances. He's only blown, I believe, 2 saves. So yes, the Pirates, he's a fastball slider guy. Fastball at about 93, slider at about 82. Actually has a pretty good baseball savant reference. Again, I'll have it flashing throughout me talking, but again, it's xwOBA in the 97th percentile, expected ERA in the 97th percentile, expected batting average 90 in the 91st. Again, he's again, the Mets also have, they have elite Edwin Diaz, they have Seth Lugo, they have Trevor May, who's been really good the last couple weeks. Miguel Castro has kind of tampered off, so again, Aaron Loop's been an amazing pickup. So again, the Mets could use another arm out in that bullpen. And Richard Rodriguez, again, the Pirates aren't doing anything. Could that be a guy that they could, he could be a major trade chip? There will be a bidding war for him because he's a very, very good reliever. And last year, look at 2020, it's not just this year. Again, he has a couple years now of being pretty solid. In 2020, in 24 games and 3-2 record with a 2.70 ERA, 34 strikeouts in 23 and a third innings, with an ERA plus of 1.68. This is a guy, again, probably going to take a nice, maybe a little prospect, but it could be, they might be getting into a bidding war with some, like the teams like the Padres and the Dodgers and the Braves or the Phillies and the Nationals, who, try to, and just in the National League by itself, of teams that try to think that they're competitive. Richard Rodriguez is going to be a very hot commodity. It could be definitely a good pickup. I would call. It could be a really good pickup for the Mets to deepen in their bullpen. The next guy on the list is a guy I really like. This is a hot take, but I don't think he'd be moved even if, because his team has definitely disappointed. And that is St. Louis Cardinals reliever Giovanni Gallegos, the 29-year-old right-hander. He's going to be a free agent in 2025. So again, the Cardinals, kind of disappointing. I live in Missouri now. My grandparents are Cardinals fans, so they have disappointed. The pitching has not been well, but their bullpen has been great. Their starting pitching has been abysmal. Nolan Arenado, and it's been great. Goldschmidt's and Dylan Carlson and Arenado have been great, but that's pretty much it offensively. And Giovanni Gallegos is one of the most underrated relievers in the game. You look at his 3-year stretch, 2019. 2.31 ERA in 74 innings pitched, 93 strikeouts in 66 games, ERA plus of 1.82. 2020, kind of a rough year, 3.6 in 15 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, 16 games, with an ERA plus of 1.20. But his FIP was at 2.06, so maybe some bad luck from 2020. And then back to this year, he's 4-1 with a 1.98 and 41 in the third innings, 47 strikeouts, ERA plus of 1.89, and his FIP is at 2.29. Fastball, slider, rarely does throw his changeup. Fastball at about 94, slider at about 86, and if he does bust out the changeup, it's at about 87. Again, Gallegos has been one of the most underrated relievers, guy that the Cardinals traded for Luke Voit. So again, everyone says the Cardinals, the Yankees got Luke Voit. The Cardinals did get a very valuable asset here in Giovanni Gallegos. Again, 80 and the expected ERA in the 94th, expected WOBA, 94th percentile, expected batting average in 88th, slugging whiff percentage in 86th percentile. He's a guy. He doesn't have, again, it's one of those guys you can put in the 7th inning to lengthen this bullpen. Miguel Castro goes down. Trevor May goes down a spot. And this is a guy who I don't think the Cardinals move. I do not expect this. But if the Cardinals keep falling, This could be maybe the most valuable reliever on the market if the Cardinals make him available. Because nobody talks about it because he plays for the Cardinals. But Giovanni Gallegos is nasty. And if the Mets could find a way to get him in their bullpen, put him with Lugo and Diaz and May and Loop, that is a dangerous bullpen because it would take less pressure off Miguel Castro and Jerry's Familia, adding a guy like Giovanni Gallegos. So you could put him in the 8th inning, you could put him in the 7th inning. He's a guy who gets in and out of big jams, and he's clutch. Giovanni Gallegos is clutch. Somebody send that to Mets fan because clutch is a trait, not a stat. So yeah, Giovanni Gallegos, definitely a guy I would keep an eye on and see if the Cardinals keep falling out of the race. Could be one of the most underrated trade pickups of the 2021 trade deadline. It seems like we're only talking about relievers here. We got another one from the Seattle Mariners. Kendall Graveman, a 30-year-old right-hander, is a free agent after this season. Again, 2021, he's having a career year in 20 games, a 1.19 ERA and 22 and a third innings, striking out 21. His ERA plus is 3.44, but his FIP is at 3.23 FIP. Fastball at 97. So again, the hardest guy that throws, hardest fastball we've seen out of these guys. Slider, changeup, 86% of the time he's throwing a fastball. Here's the thing with Kendall Graveman. Again, he's having a career year, but the rest of his career has been pretty bad. Could be a guy like Kyle Gibson with the Rangers, where he's having a career year, not like his normal self. Could be a high-risk, high-reward kind of guy. But again, the Mets don't need to go get an 8th inning or a 9th inning guy because they have Diaz and they have Lugo. But the Mets kind of need that 7th inning guy. And Graveman could be a guy who is a risk because the majority of his career says he's not that good, but he's having a career year this year. And could you use him? Can he continue to be that this season because he is a free agent after the season? So could be a really good piece to go add. Again, and into that Castro role, in that 7th inning guy, because you have your big guns in Loop, Diaz, Lugo, and Loop. Try to say that 5 times fast. And then like Trevor May and Castro in that second tier. I'm trying to add into that second tier. He could be a really valuable commodity for the Mets this year. Again, I don't know what the Mariners would want back for him, but it could be a definite. Again, Baseball Savant doesn't love him. But again, it's a risky pickup because this is an abnormal year for Kendall Graveman. But shout out to Elias. He put me onto this one on his Big Apple Baseball Banter stream. Be sure to check him out. I'll leave all the Mets weekly guys streamed. Streams are just links down in the description. Little Mets fan Kevin, Frank, Tony Metro, Hayden, all will be linked down in the description below. So yeah, Kendall Graveman could be another guy just bringing to that bullpen could be a very, very, very valuable piece for the Mets. If you've watched the first 2 episodes, the top 3 are the bigger 3 guys, and they're in the thumbnail for a reason. Let's start off with Minnesota starting pitcher Jose Barrios, 27-year-old right-hander, will be a free agent in 2023, and this is the new gem to Mets fans, as everybody loves and is begging for Jose Barrios to be a New York Met. You look at his numbers in 2019, he started, went in 32 games, 32 starts, 14-8 with a 3.68 ERA, 22 and a third innings pitched, struck out 192, ERA plus of 122. His FIP was at 3.85. 2020, in 12 starts, 5-6 with a 4 ERA, 63 and a third innings, 68 strikeouts, an ERA plus of 107, and his FIP was at 4.06. This season, as of now, 15 starts, 7-2, a 3.41, and 89 and 2/3 innings, 96 strikeouts, and an ERA plus of 120, and his FIP is at 3.39. Fastball, great curveball, and a changeup from Barrios. He throws fastball 56% of the time. You look at his Baseball Savant, not the greatest. Hard hit percentage in the 55th percentile. Expecting batting average in the 39th percentile. Ex-Woba in the 48th. So again, everybody's fascinated to adding another front-end starter in Barrios' name because the Twins have been bad, and the Mets now were linked to Josh Donaldson, which we'll get to in tomorrow's video. That could you package Josh Donaldson with Jose Barrios to bring in another starter? And the Mets, and Barrios is a guy who for his career he's a potential guy. If he ever hits his potential, he could be a frontline starter, but we've been saying it for 3 years now. Could the Mets be the team that unlock him? The Mets usually do pretty well with pitching. They develop pretty well. Now, definitely with Hefner here, he's developed, Aaron Loop to a god. Stroman and Walker have been pitched great. So, there's something maybe for the Jeremy Hefner. And you saw him, he coached him in Minnesota beforehand. Berrios is great as a 4 or 3-4 starter because that's what he really is. Could he be more 100? Again, his potential, he can be a number 2 on a good team, a number 2. And the Mets, he'd be a 3. No, on the Mets, it would be a 4. You would go DeGrom, debatable if Carrasco's back to what his normal self is. He's the number 5 starter because you can go DeGrom, Stroman, Walker, Carrasco, Berrios. And then you would have McGill and Peterson as extra relievers or extra starters. I love Jose Berrios, great Puerto Rican kid. I'd see what if I can get the Donaldson bundle and maybe even bundling our guy number 1 on this list. I would think about it, but again, it's a risk. But it's a risk worth taking because at minimum, if you're getting a 3.6 out of your 4 or 5 starter, I'll take that. So he's young, he still has 2 more years of control. Could be something to look at. And Mets fan, every Mets fan right now on Twitter is loving him. Could that be a piece the Mets need? Speaking of players, Mets fans on Twitter have fallen in love with. Let's go with Luis Castillo, a guy that we got a lot of talk in the offseason. Had a terrible start to his 2021 season, but his last, I believe, 7 starts, he has turned it around. His overall numbers still don't look great, but if you look at his past, I believe, 6-7 starts, he's been back to being Luis Castillo. 28-year-old right-hander is a free agent in 2024. You look at his all-star season in 2019, that's kind of the big year with him. 15-8 with a 3.4 and 190 and 2/3 innings, struck out 226 batters, an ERA plus of 140, a FIP at 3.75. 2020 and 12 starts, 4-6, a 3.21 ERA and 70 innings pitched, 89 strikeouts, ERA plus at 155, and a FIP at 2.65. So his FIP was better than his actual ERA. And in this, so at the timing of I prepped the video, 16 starts, a 3-10 record of 5.14 and 84 and 84 innings pitched, 80 strikeouts, and ERA plus of 88, and his FIP at 4.03. Fastball, the Bugs Bunny changeup. Luis Castillo maybe has the best changeup in baseball. And a slider, you look at his Savant page. 52 is Woba. Ex-Woba is in the 52nd percentile. His ERA is suspected ERA in the 52nd. Again, his barrel percentage is in the 85th percentile. Luis Castillo is a very interesting guy because again, this season is tale of two. His first 7 starts and his last 7 starts. Castillo was a very hot commodity in the offseason. Every Mets fan was like, oh, what would they think of trading him and Suarez or him and Sonny Gray and Suarez to the Mets? So the Yankees were trying to get him and they asked for Gleyber Torres. So, his value definitely is lower. Again, could be a guy the Mets can, again, for the Mets, he'd be the 4. And again, going into the season, we were expecting him to be the number 2 because we didn't think Stroman and Walker would pitch as well as they have. And now he would come in and be your number 4 starter. And the Reds aren't in it, they have a great lineup, but their pitching is abysmal. I should have an abysmal counter in my videos. Could be a guy, again, it'll take a lot because he's got years of control. He's still pretty young. And again, he still has that kind of pedigree that he's a really good pitcher, just had a really rough start to the first half of the season. Definitely a guy the Mets could call back, and if Cincinnati continues to fall out the race, and maybe the Mets need another horse. If, let's say, God forbid, or Marcus Stroman and Taijuan Walker get injured and like an actual injury, Luis Castillo could be a really good fill-in for the Mets to go out and get an upper-class starter who can be that next, Stroman and what's going on, who has some term left on his contract because he's still arbitration and then not a free agent until after the 2024 season. So, again, Castillo, Berrios, kind of front-end guys on most teams would be 3 or 4 starters for the Mets. It's something to think about. The Mets need some pitching. He could be a really good commodity to go out and add. And let's talk about the guy on the thumbnail, the guy in the middle, in the front of the thumbnail, All-Star. Wait, was he an All-Star? No, it was Mike Trout. Should have been All-Star. No, if he would have stayed healthy, and that's been the biggest key. Byron Buxton, center fielder from the Minnesota Twins, a 27-year-old outfielder, will be a free agent after the 2023 season, so he still has another year of control. And Byron Buxton, again, the main problem with Byron Buxton is he can never stay healthy. But when he's on the field, he is a game changer. Look at the Twins when Buxton is in the lineup and compared not in the lineup. They're a tale of two teams. Byron Buxton is a very valuable commodity. And I've seen people say, why trade for him? Just wait a couple years. He is the guy you can put in center field. But again, look at this year. He was going to win MVP if he stayed healthy. It's that first month, April was godly. 27 games this year, 10 homers, 21 extra base hits, 19 RBIs, a 369 average, nice, a 409 on base, a 767 slug, an 1100 OPS, and an OPS plus of 224 from center field with elite defense and elite speed with a great arm. Byron Buxton is the most prototypical center fielder not named Mike Trout. I think he's the best overall. If you said 5-tool guy, speed, power, he can hit for high average, who can go out and get him in center field. Byron Buxton is that guy. Mike Trout might be the greatest player of all time, the best center fielder in the game. But when Byron Buxton healthy, he has that Trout level of he is great. But the problem is he just can't stay healthy. He broke his hand after coming back from a hamstring injury, I believe. Just broke his hand, going to be out a month. So, again, it's just one of those guys who, what value? He has elite value, but you don't get enough of it to be like, okay, let's go out and trade, Dom, Vientos, and a pitching prospect, because he's not healthy enough. It's been his biggest bugaboo is he cannot stay healthy. And yes, would I die to see Byron Buxton in blue and orange? 100%. Look at some of these plays. And let a bat. He is the prototypical center fielder the Mets need. Elite speed, hits for power. He's like I said, he's a 5-tool center fielder. Will he be traded this year? No, because he's injured. The Mets also have had some interest. Again, that was that was Brody being dumb and not being Brody. He was going to maybe trade Noah Syndergaard. The Mets asked for him, and the Twins asked for Noah Syndergaard. Looking back, you definitely make that trade. But, depending on do you want an injury-prone pitcher or do you want an injury-prone outfielder, take your pick. But, again, Byron Buxton is an elite player. Again, it's just a problem that he cannot. The best ability is availability, and he's not. He's not available. He's always hurt. But when he's on the field, he is a game changer. So, would I see? Maybe can you get him bundled in with a Josh Donaldson or a Berrios? Make a super trade with the Twins. The Twins are out of it. If they want to full on tear it down, maybe they're not going to sign. Well, maybe they don't sign him in a year. He could be a guy that definitely gets moved, and at least maybe not this deadline, but maybe this offseason definitely to at least look out for a Byron Buxton trade. So there you go, guys. 7 more guys the Mets should at least call the team and see how available and what would it cost to acquire. Who in this video you think is your number one target of those 7 guys? We got a bunch of pitchers today. Unlike most videos, it's been a lot of hitters. Are you a guy if Giovanni Gallegos gets available, you're like, that's the guy. Do you want to go out and get a Castillo or a Berrios? Leave it all in the comments section down below. Thank you guys. Again, we're getting close to 200 subs. Can we get to over 200 subs before the trade deadline? We're 10 away. Can we do that before the deadline? It's July 2nd. I would have said by the All-Star break, but it's a lofty goal if we can get 200 by the All-Star game on next week. But my goal is to get it by the trade deadline. Mets Weekly was on Elias's channel on Big Apple Baseball Banter. I'll have that link down in the description below. Again, like I said, check out all those guys. The guys are great. Content coming up for me, the Josh Donaldson rumor, and will probably come out video maybe out tomorrow, depending on maybe something happens, depending on how busy I am. That video hopefully can get out then tomorrow. What else? Mets Weekly this week, I think, is going to be on Hayden's channel. We don't know yet. We still haven't officially announced who's going to host it, but I would put money on it's probably going to be Hayden. But again, this is this weekend. I'm uploading this probably on Saturday, so things can change. But Mets, again, they need to get some wins back. They got to start winning some games. The offense needs to wake up. Brandon Nimmo returned, and he got his return ruined by Mother Nature. What's new? Brandon Nimmo can never be let out to shine. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like this video. Leave a comment. Please subscribe. It makes my day seeing the numbers go up. So make sure if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Drop a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.